Good morning to everyone. Today we are going to discuss about chapter 3 in system analysis and design, which is actually going to be about managing the information systems project. Because we are going to develop a system, we are planning to develop an information system. The first and most important thing is that we have to guide through a process in order to develop a good information system, and that is actually called an information system project. What are the steps basically involved in the development of the system, information system? So that's actually called the information system project. Now when you are going to look at it here, you can see here these are the learning objectives in this chapter. We may not cover all these things in one of the video lesson. It will be covered across maybe 3 or 4 video lessons. But today we are going to discuss mostly on the first part of it, discuss the skills required to be an effective manager. First point, we are going to only cover this learning objective. This second learning objective will be covered in the second video, and we are going to talk about this one, about the critical path method and network diagram. This will be in the third video. Then we are going to talk about in the fourth video, and then we are going to talk about some other issues. Okay, so basically I am going to discuss only on the first learning objective today in this particular video lesson. When you are going to develop an information system, you have to have something called project management, because developing an information system has multiple steps. It is not just start off one process and you finish it. It has many steps and you have to go through it systematically. If you are going to follow the systematic process, then it is going to become easy for you to develop the information system, because you can check whether you are on the right direction in developing the information system or not. So in this way it will help you a lot. So now let's talk about the persons who are involved in the management of the project. We call the person as project manager, and also he is referred to as system analyst in some times. So the system analyst is responsible for these 4 important tasks. Number 1, and also these are the 4 important steps that you are going to have in the project or the information system development. The first one is called project initiation. The next one is called planning of the project. The third one is called execution, and the fourth one is close down. So these are the 4 main tasks which the system analyst is responsible for. Who is a system analyst? The person who is responsible for planning the system, executing the system, and initiating the system, and closing down the system, project development, so that the system is ready for use. When you are going to talk about the system analyst or the project manager, it is not an easy task to manage many things, which is mentioned above there. So it involves multiple skills. The multiple skills involves, number 1, management. He should know how to manage the people, how to manage the resources. He should know how to manage his time, because time, resources, and the money, all these things has to be managed in a very proper way by this software analyst or system analyst or the project manager. Number 2 is leadership. He should be in a position to lead the team. He should actually delegate the work to the people, and he should actually see that he should be in having a power of authority to get the work done. Technical. The person who is going to be a system analyst should have a technical skill. He should not be a layman without any technical skill. He should be very, very clear with the technical skills, so that he can lead the team very properly. Conflict management always happens, because whenever you plan to develop an information system, you have a definite timeline, you have a definite time schedule. But often it happens like this: people always have a blame game strategy. What is blame game strategy? People often complain that the work is not completed because of the negligence from the other party. So, and also they always try to blame one another for the delay. So, but you have to resolve the conflict so that the work does not get hampered, it goes on smoothly. The next important task that the system analyst should be having is called customer relationship. This is very important, that you are developing a project for a company. The customer relationship is very important. See, when you are going to build a house, for example, you have some aspirations and interests. So the most important thing for an engineer is to satisfy the owner of the house. Similarly, when you are going to develop, when a company is giving you a job of developing the information system, it is your responsibility to ensure that the work that you are going to deliver as an information system should be according to the needs and the requirements of the organization, and it satisfies their requirements. So these are the 5 important skills that is needed for a system analyst. I think until now it's clear. Now you can see here, you can see this picture. What do you see in this picture? There is one person who is playing with the balls. It's juggling. It's juggling means, sometimes we see people are putting 5-6 balls and just playing around. So a project manager who is also called a system analyst has to juggle around these different skills or activities. Number 1, let us start with this one: customer and management expectations. Because the system project manager should understand what the customer needs and what the management needs. Always the management wants to save the money, want to have a good product, and the customer also wants a good service. So this has to be taken into consideration. Number 2, I am just going here with this one. Number 2, technological change. For example, you are developing an information system, but the information system that you are developing is not actually according to the standard technology or the latest advancement in technology. You are using a very old type of software which may not be compatible. You know what is compatible? It may not run with the new type of software. That's another issue. So you should make sure that there is a real good technological component which is latest. That is very important. Then already we have seen in chapter 1 about system development life cycle. In the system development life cycle, you have to understand that you start with the system development life cycle. That means what? You start with the system development and follow the steps like analysis, design, development, testing, and all these things. So you have the project manager is also responsible for this one. And then you should also understand the changes in the organization. Okay, you should also understand if there is a change in the organizational policies, or if there is a change in the organizational hierarchy and structure, how it is going to affect. The next one is what? Contractors and vendors. It's very important that you are going to deal with many contractors and vendors in order to develop the system. Sometimes you may have to outsource. We have seen what is outsourcing in chapter 2. Sometimes you have to outsource certain things from the outside vendors. That's also very important. Another important skill is what? Managing the people. This is a very difficult and complex task. Not all people working in the company are same. Not all the people working in the company have the equal capabilities and stuff. But some of the people are good in some of the aspects. So managing the people involves getting the work done from the people according to their capabilities. That's called managing the people. Methodologies and tools. So for example, you have to suggest to the team what type of methodologies and tools can be used, and time and resource constraints. You have to optimize. You know what is optimize? Make the best use of the time and the resource constraints which is actually available with you, because constraint means limitations. What is a limitation? You don't have all the time that you need. You want to develop a good project, then you may need 1 year, but the customer is not going to wait for 1 year. He has told you to develop in 4 months time. How you are going to achieve the target with this given constraint? Okay, the next one is documentation and communication. Very important is to maintain the communication. You cannot keep on talking only. When you are leading a position, you should communicate officially, and in order to communicate officially, you make sure that everything that you are going to talk and you are going to discuss is recorded and documented for future purposes and use. I think with this we will conclude this particular video lesson part 1. Let's meet in the next video with part 2. Thank you.